Hey there, Hollywood fans, and welcome to this week's show. So as you've seen, we have wrapped up shop. The season is done and dusted. Last week, it was the final round of the GXCCs out at Fochville. Spectacular weather, spectacular layout of track, and a championship that went down to the wire on almost every single category. It was an absolute banger. Check it out. This was Fochville. All this GXCC racing action is brought to you by VW Mastercars Hatfield. Fochville and the final round of the GXCCs was going to be our host venue to wrap up shop in 2024. Some nice rains building up to the final event would make things interesting. It's here, the final round of an 8-round championship at the GXCCs. This is where we wrap up 2024. V, it's been an amazing one, and you organised a sprinkler this time.
Man, I can't believe it. We've had dust the whole year. This week we've had some amazing rain. Even yesterday afternoon in certain spots there was about 20 millimeters of rain coming down. So the soil is just moist and it's going to be so much fun. You know, the guys are going to have a bit of mud in some places, water splashes, something that they're not used to for the entire year.
The Robbie's farm always races so good. It's something like 6 years since we've been GXCC racing out here. And tell us what you laid out. Obviously I went out on the track yesterday, so I got a little bit of a spy, but the big track looks awesome.
Yeah, obviously there's no river crossings, but other than that, everything else that you can think of, from sand, hardpack, mud, grasslands, a rocky hill copy, everything's there. I think this is all in one. The guys are going to have a lot of fun out there.
Before the morning session, which is the juniors and the quads, we headed to the pits.
Rolling.
Lee's banger of a season, and finally the rains came for the last round.
Yes, and we're actually glad it's raining, so the farmers can start then doing all their stuff.
Yeah, and they were out there yesterday. I mean, it absolutely hammered on us yesterday, so we know Fochville. We haven't raced here on the GXCC for a couple of years, but you remember how it goes. It's fast, and then I rode that mountain yesterday. You guys are going to have fun up there.
I'm looking forward to that.
You think the 4x4, I mean, you've been switching, but the 4x4 is going to be the one today?
Yes, obviously, yeah. We don't really use the 4x4, but it's higher, the ground clearance is higher, so it's obviously easier to use, yeah, definitely.
Rian, last time out stock standard and on the podium. Same thing again today.
Yeah, I think there's a bit better riders here today. Tinas is back. So, yeah, third place is mine. I booked it with you, booked it with everyone. It's mine.
Now, you know I went and did the recce yesterday, and you know it was a tad moist.
I saw in the photos, but apparently the Suzuki standard loves water. Doesn't have a problem with mud, so now I'm good to go.
Fun season. Great to have the GXCCs back running a big 8-rounder, hey?
Yeah, and I love it that they started the quads for the kids.
Yeah.
That makes a big difference. Makes my life also easier. Whole family now here, and we're ready to go.
Yes, to be honest, I've only done the first 2 races of the season. Actually had to go away with work and stuff like that, but I'm here for the last one, just enjoying it. Back in the day, yes, if it's wet, muddy, and yeah, the how can I say, the crossings and stuff like that is just a headache. But let's see today. I think today, if the quads start moving through, it'll probably open up. But other than that, yeah, it's nice terrain. Actually, it is a nice farm, so I'm looking forward to it. Yeah, I'm definitely not as fit as I used to be, but yeah, I'm just gonna go slow, let the body warm up, and then after that see if I can open up and catch the front guys.
Ja nee, hierdie jaar was het lekker geweest. Eerste helft van die jaar was regtig lekker geweest. Hier by die tweede helfte het ek begin probleme kry met die fiets en dis heeltyd elke race was issues gehad en ek nou met al die punte baie verloor. So ek nou alleen 3de of 4de in die championship. Maar as ons steeds die jaar geniet, is dit lekker geweest. Ons het geniet die eerste gedeelte, ons het hier met laaste race te geniet om klaar te maak net om lekker te ry vandag. Dis eintlik die eerste keer dat ek hier is, ek nog nooit hier so gery nie. Ek dink dit gaan regtig lekker wees. Ek's bly dit 'n bietjie gereën om die stof af te bring. So ja, ek dink dit gaan regtig baie lekker wees vandag. Ja, dit is lekker wees om die hossel te kry. Ek wil net die race, soos ek sê, wil die race klaar maak, wil die dag geniet. En enige risiko's vat nie. Ek is net hier om dit klaar te maak en die regtig dag te geniet vir die laaste een. En ek wil net baie dankie sê vir my ma, my pa, my oupa hulle, almal wat my support. Baie dankie vir Boesman hulle, almal om Mansley, dankie vir hulle help en dan regtig is baie dankie.
Yeah, it's one of my best years for sure. I've loved this year. Gravel pit obviously sorted me out of the bike. What a bike this year. I couldn't done it without them. My mom and my dad, Maximum and Heimo. And yeah, I think this race I'm only going to start on the 85. and then I'm going to ride OR4 in the afternoon. I can't wait, yeah. I'm going to, next year I'm done with junior racing. I'm going to high school class, and yeah, I can't wait.
Brother, it's all come down to this, eh?
Yeah, the last race is the make or break for me. Yeah, whoever wins the race wins the championship, so it's a lot of stress on me. Yeah, but I'm looking forward to it. Yeah.
I see all the prep work. Everyone's put new tyres on. Everyone's got everything dialed in for this one. You've even gone for the lucky whole shot white.
Yeah, threw on everything new on the bike just for the last time. Yeah, just gonna go out with a bang and hopefully win it.
What does it mean to you to say goodbye to the 85s? Because this year has been amazing on the 85s, eh?
It's really sad for me. This year has been fun. Not just that, I started racing on the 85, so it's a bit sad for me to get off the 85 now. But yeah.
Shout out to the competition before we go to the line.
Yeah, shout out to Derek for the competition this year. He's really been good this year. Yeah, good luck to him.
Today it's gonna be a tough day because today I have to win to be able to be gelijk, and then tied. And then if we are tied, we're exactly tied on the second places and first places. So we're gonna be exactly the same with the throwaway race. So I don't know what's gonna happen, but today it's gonna be a tough day. We have raced the national here first, but then my bike sees 2Ks into the loop, so I don't really know much. But I know this ground. I know this type of dirt. Yes, this year was an awesome year. It went very well for me. It was just awesome, eh? I'd like to thank my dad, my mom, my brother, Wameneri, and then everyone else that helped me. And it was an amazing season. I accomplished a lot, eh?
Quads and junior catch up done and dusted. It's time to bring them to the line for the final time in 2024. First up would be the quaddies. Flag drop, and in the Q1s, it's all about Gnarly Carly. She is our champion-elect on the Q1s, but this time around it was Franco Pretorius getting his mojo back, along with Jaco Volfart. Carly safe inside the top three. Q2's the Screaming Banshee of Hannah Simon would be out there with Henny Macau tagging the big inside hay bale and going down hard. He would have to fight back to come through Tinus Kutzer and Davy van Staden. In the Quad Masters, the whole shot machine that is Vickers Pretorius was out there once again, but Xander Branken was his match. They would have Darren Moyle and Roxy dos Santos to play with in the first couple of kilometers. For the Quad Veterans category, Barney Barnard choosing the big 4x4, staying in two-wheel drive for this one, but he knew about the copy, so he wanted a little bit of extra ground clearance. Tony dos Santos and Davy de Vet would not have the same luxury though. The Barnard Vervoer team looked like they had got their strategy right. Liesl Barnard, our champion-elect on the ladies' gate as well, once again ran the numbers. Carly van Staden, Celeste Berger and Liesl Simon would be picking up the pieces of the rest of the race, and then back down onto the queue for our juniors, where the nail-biting conclusion to the championship in the senior 85s was going to come down to this race. Derek van Asbeken drew first blood with the whole shot ahead of Drickus van der Merwe. Junior 85s, the championship already wrapped up by the Mullet Man, so it was going to be up to the rest to do the chase down. Takeng Marahi once again getting an incredible drop off the gate, with Dylan Baldock out there as well as Ulrich van Asbeken. The junior 85s going to give us a different looking podium at the final round. 65 pros, Kellen van Deventer, rocket ship off the line as always, but it's the champion-elect, Declan Richards from the Vans Racing Husky squad, that was in there with the shout to try and get his big number one plate. 50cc's, Rogan Matthews, Bernard Blicknote, Cameron Hine, and the rest doing the chase down on the 50cc's. The lowlands would be a big test for our junior riders. Let's chat to Vian about the track in the morning. Junior categories this morning, all of the championships bar one have to be decided today. So the juniors just under 20 Ks, and it's going to be wild, eh?
Yeah, you know, we look at that points, and it's whoever wins today wins. You know, after an 8-round championship with one throwaway, how's it possible that at the very last round the guys are like 1 or 2 points difference? So yeah, very important. We have to tell the guys today that they must just stay cool in their heads and make sure that they bring it home safely. Otherwise they're going to throw away championships.
As you can hear, the morning session's underway. So let's go out on the track and see what went down. Here we go. Let's climb those ladders. Bit of an attrition rate for the rest of the 50cc's, but the championship runners were good enough to stay out there and stay in the hunt. 3 laps under the belt for Cameron Hine. That'll keep him inside of the top 3 for the championship as well. Bernard Blicknote also stays on a 3-lap count, putting over 10 minutes into his closest rival, Hine. It was a tough morning for the junior riders. Rogan Matthews, the only rider on the 50cc gate, to bag and tag 4 laps under his belt to take the final 50cc win of the tour. 65cc pros was much more interesting. Travis Levy, who is running inside of the top 5 for the championship, had a big problem in the morning, only getting 3 laps under his belt before he had to park the machine. He would end up suffering a huge points loss, dropping down 8th place on the final round. Alessandro Green, riding out of the motocross championship, coming straight home from the motocross of African nations and coming in to test his mettle against the best. He walked away with a number 7 on the day. Lincoln Deister, who is a championship runner, was good enough to bag and tag a number 6 finish with Seb Nell in his first full season on the 65 pros, doing a nice job of work. 5th place, and that should still see him remain inside of that magical top 6 for the championship. Kellen Van Deventer pulled the big hole shot, got the cheese in the morning, but suffered some problems with the race strategy, eventually dropping down to a number 4, a low finish by his high standards. Armand Puerta walked away with one of the best rides of his season, the varied terrain of Fochville, showing that he is a multifaceted rider, walking away with 3rd place to close out a very strong season for his championship tour. Declan Richards didn't need to walk away with the win, although he wanted to. 2nd place was more than enough to wrap up his GXCC 65 Pro Championship, though, as he walked away with a rock-solid number 2 finish on the day. But it was Ryan Wickman who came swinging out of nowhere. The motocross kids starting to understand how to get the best out of themselves and their machines at the GXCCs. Wickman takes the final checkers of the season on the 65 Pros. Junior 85s, where we would see a lot of chopping and changing and new names at the top of the pile. Twane Tienpont still looking for that magic that she delivered the last couple of seasons. A bounce back tour after injuries at the beginning of 2024. 8th place was the best she could do out here. Just ahead and on the same minute was Letzi Machali. Very good run of form, and all the kids coming across the border from Lesotho showing their form and their understanding of how to rock and roll out here at the GXCCs. Kikleko Setomi was up the road inside of a number 8. Alweto Batazwa inside of a top 5, even though he managed to get a good start, would eventually drop down to a number 5. Takeng Marahi, who was the whole shot superstar and has been pulling some amazing gates, especially in the second half of the season, kept it pretty clean this time around, just dropping outside of the main numbers. 4th place, but watch out for him in 2025. Looks like he's going to be staying on the Junior 85s, and he will be a massive threat. The big swingers ran very close in the early stages. Rod Podkita, Juan Agostini, and eventually Pierre Cosia did join the party. Cosia made a hash of the start and had to plow the field almost from the back of the pack, eventually climbing to the very top step. That put Rod Podkita inside of a number 3. He'll be happy with that. His first time and first full season on the 65s. Agostini, rock solid in the championship. Number 2 spot for him, and the final blood, final checkers, goes to Pierre Cosia on the Bikers Warehouse Husky. He'll be happy with that in his debutant year on the 85s. Senior 85s was an absolute nail-biter. We were all wondering who was going to walk away with this one. Dylan Besadenhout in 8th place. And you'll see on the results board, 7th place eventually went to Derek van Asviken. We'll come back to the Asviken story just now. Tamaka Morahi was a number 6 ride, chasing down on the back wheel of Alexander Dillman. Dillman was very strong off the gate in the morning as well, eventually finishing a number 5. So he'll be pretty happy with that. Kanye de Kock, up and down season for the Bikers Warehouse Husqvarna rider, but he is going to be one to watch out for in the future if he can just get that luck on his side. 4th place was the best that he could do. Ulrich Furry was up the road from him on a number 3, and he was just under 30 seconds off the back wheel of eventual second place runner, Drickus van der Merwe. The story inside of the top three was super interesting. It was Willem Botha who eventually would get himself to the front and taste podium champagne from the very top step. Drickus van der Merwe had to finish ahead of Derek van Asbeken at the final round to claim the championship. When Derek van Asbeken, his day came to an end early on with an overheated engine. There were also dramas for Drickus van der Merwe, who would break his chain in the last 500 meters and have to run the bike down to the finish line. Botha got the win. Second place was good enough for van der Merwe to wrap up the Pro 65 title. And did he earn that one? Yes, he did. The kid was smoked at the end of a dramatic final event.
Brother, it's been an amazing season, and what a story and a dramatic finish, dude. What happened there?
Yeah, the day didn't go as planned. Got out at the whole shot second. Second lap I fell a few times. On the last lap, I think about 500 meters from the end, my chain snapped, so I had to push the whole way back. But yeah, got the championship. I'm super stoked.
I mean, it's been a banger season. Try and wrap it up. I mean, Derek's pushed you the whole way, and it looks like a mud bog on lap 1 or 2 was his problem there.
Yeah, that's when I saw Derek's bike had a problem in lap 3, I think, or 4, can't remember. But yeah, well done to him, and yeah.
It's okay.
Try and wrap up the season for me. I mean, it's been a big one, hey? A real big one.
Yeah, the season has been big. First and second places. One race I didn't finish because of the seized motor. Yeah, so it was good.
Dude, what a race and what a season. How are you feeling, man?
No, it was a very good day. I had some competition. It was in the first few laps it was a dice, but in the end he was fast, so I couldn't stay by him.
GXCC experience shows through, hey? These motocross guys are going to come next year, though. You can feel it, eh?
Yeah, they're fast, but next year I'm gonna come get it.
What does it mean to you to wrap up this big number 1 plate? Obviously, you're China. He took it last year, you took it this year, so it's going back to where it belongs, eh?
Yeah, it's very. I'm very happy. It was a good season, and I was just very, very consistent and everything.
Let's check the final results at the final round. Willem Botha gets his win that he's been looking for all season long at Fochville. Beating out on Drickus van der Merwe. Second place was good enough for van der Merwe to wrap up the title. In the Junior 65s, GXCC taking the win ahead of Agostini, Potgieter and Marahi. What a story in the Junior 85s, but your champion on this gate for 2024 was Mullet Man. 65 pros, Ryan Wickman, also seeing new blood at the top of the pile. Declan Richards, his second place on the day, ahead of Botha, was enough for Declan Richards to wrap up his title in 2024, with Rogan Matthews on the 50cc gate, once again beating out on Blicknote and Hein. The juniors wrapped up in a bow for 2024. Next up, quad racing time. Let's chat to Vion as we get ready to send out the four-wheelers.
Take us through the quad track, distances, and the key features.
Quad track is on the nose 50 kilometers. I don't know how we get it right, but it's always just like within 500 meters. But yeah, 50 Ks on the quad lap, and yeah, they're going to have some fast sections, but you know, we're working with mealie fields, and then the rest is just such flowing corners, a little bit of tight, but not much, and then the copy that's going to test some skills.
Right, Fochville, the big track, the 50K'er, and the ladies were going to have to be the first to go out there and show us what they can do. Carly van Staden, super strong and consistent throughout the season, but Fochville will give her one of her lowest results of the tour, a 4th place with only 1 lap scored and counted. Celeste Berger has been coming on super strong in the second half of the season, 2 laps under her belt, and also battling with the mud bogs and the copy out there. 3rd place for her. Liesl Simon, an incredible comeback ride this season, almost coming back into full-time quad racing, doing a lot of work on the cross-country cars and also walking away with strong numbers there. 2nd place and staying on the lead lap. She was the closest to eventual race winner, Liesl Barnard. The ladies out there running a very long morning session. Liesl Simon, 4 hours in the saddle. Liesl Barnard, 3 laps. And dominating the ladies' gate once again and walking away with her championship in 2024. The quad veterans suffered some losses early on. Tony DeSantos unable to complete lap number 1. A lot of the quaddies battling with clutch issues out there on the copy. Davy de Vet, a little bit better for him. He got 1 lap under his belt, and Bonnie Barnard got it right once again, hammering the nail on the competition, winning the final race of the quads in the vets and the championship. Quad Masters, similar situation where Fivas was only able to see us one more time out there on the track. Lap number 2 was his undoing. Roxy DeSantos, a 1-lapper, that's going to drop him down in his championship aspirations, because Roxy has been looking so strong in the second half of this season. Moily, old captain stock standard, 4th place, stayed out of trouble. Stayed on the lead lap for the Quad Masters. All the Quad Masters inside of the top 4, only completing 2 laps, showing how tough the conditions were at the final round out at Fochville. Vickers Pretorius, whole shot superstar, and by his high standards, 3rd place was a low finish, but still good enough for the championship. Fernando DeSantos on an absolute burner this season, especially in the second half of the tour. He'll have been relatively happy to walk away and survive Fochville with a number 2 finish. And Xander Branken, even though halfway through the race he had to rebuild his clutch, still went out there and got the cheese, putting 5 minutes into his closest rival. If Branken can line up for a full championship tour next season, he could battle for a championship. In the Q2s, Tina Skutzer arrived back on the gate after a couple of months out. So cool to see him out there banging and tagging out there, but only 2 laps under the gate would give him a number 5 finish. Rion Dick, who talked in the pre-race event that he had 3rd place locked up. Unfortunately, it was going to be a 4 this time around, with a couple of big swingers coming in late on in the season. Davy van Staden has been so strong on the championship, switching up between the 700 and the big 1000 this time around. Because of the copy and the muddy conditions, he went for the big 4x4 and was credited with a number 3 ride. Henny Macau got angry with that hay bale early on and did the big fight back, pushback, eventually getting 2nd place, but losing out on the race win by almost 8 minutes. It was the Screaming Banshee, the one and only 350cc blue smoker of Hannes Simon, that hammered the nail once again, taking the cheese, taking the final win, taking the fastest lap of the race, and taking yet another Q2 championship. Q1s were still up for grabs though, where we saw some interesting situations. Francois Smallberger, who was running inside the top 3, bowed out without completing the first lap. Sean Kutzer, who was having a good season on the Honda, also only managed to get 1 lap under his belt. The lap count was super low with tough conditions for the quaddies. Kobus Knutzer stayed out of relative trouble to eventually take home a number 6 ride, with Jaco Wolfart after his incredible run off the gate that saw him running early on in a number 2 spot. He would free fall down to a number 5, but the Wolfarts are coming on strong. Watch out for that name to climb the ladder next season. Ruan Muller, also very, very capable rider, another one of the Honda runners. He'll be relatively happy to end off the season in a number 4. Rebuild the bike and come back and see what it can do in 2025. Franco Pretorius just had problems late on in the season, and that robbed him of his championship charge. Good enough still to walk away with 2nd place on the season and 3rd place at the final round. Carly Simon had already wrapped up the number 1 plate. This was a glory run for Gnarly Carly, and 2nd place showed she didn't hold anything back at the last round. 3 laps under her belt, and 2nd place to close things out on what was an amazing season. Tian Wolfart, though, will take the final checkers of the season, the final win in the Q1s, and he will be coming to line up in 2025 knowing that he can walk away with the big wins.
Gnarly, crazy last round of the season, hey? Tell me about the day.
It was awesome day. It was a bit of a bike wrecker, but nothing that we cannot put through the taste.
I told you it was going to be like Roof of Africa out there, eh?
Listen, I've had my taste now, but now I'm over it.
Let's just sum up the season. I mean, you've been banging bars with Franco, you've been banging bars with Cheeseburger. It's been a wild one, hey?
So the goal for this year was just to get podium once out of the 8, and it looks like I'm taking overall and the championship for the year, so I'm super proud.
What do you think the state of affairs is with quads? It's been up and down the last couple of seasons, but I think this year we've had strong gates.
Especially with the juniors, so that the fact that they're actually making a class for the juniors, it's awesome to grow the sport, so it's going to look good next year.
Henny, back to the old hood, and I know this is a style of riding you like, eh?
Ja, nee, dit was baie lekker vandag, maar dit was hard en aanhoudend die hele dag. Ek het net gesorg dat my bike reg bly, niks bome vasry en my bike breek nie. So ja, kop gehou, ek moes erg kop hou en die dag deurgedruk en ons het hom huis toe gevat. Mooi man, ja.
It was definitely one of those tracks where you had to get your lines right, eh? Like you had to be a clever rider for today.
Ja, ek was op 'n stadium agter Hannes en ek het gesien wat 'n skill rider is hy. Hy dink so vinnig. Hy maak my bang so vinnig dink hy, maar ja, ek het ook nie baie foute gemaak nie, dink 2 foute. En dit is wat my gehelp het om klaar te maak.
Let's check out the final results then. Congratulations to Tiaan Volvaart for taking his first GXCC win at the final round, beating out the championship winner, Nali Kali, Franco Pretorius, Muller and Jaco Volvaart. In the Q2s, Hannes Simon, the Screaming Banshee, walking away with yet another championship, another win ahead of Macau, Van Staden, Dick and Kutzer. Quad Masters was an interesting one where Xander Branken was strong enough to survive the tough conditions at the last round, beating out on De Santos and Pretorius. Pretorius, though, walks away with the big number 1 plate. Quad veterans, Barney Barnard is the man. He takes the big cheese. The number 1 plate will be on the Barnard Fochville Racing Can-Am in 2025. And for the quad ladies, Liesel Barnard barely putting a foot wrong. 1 or 2 bogey events, but good enough to survive the season. The final win goes to her and the championship. Quads and juniors done and dusted. Before we go into the senior motorbikes, let's check in with our good friends at VW Mastercars Hatfield. For the last 2 seasons, GXCC has been partnering with our amazing friends out there at VW Mastercars Hatfield. And as always, they've got some amazing specials. Get yourself the brand new Polo from VW Mastercars Hatfield in Pretoria and only start paying at the beginning of 2025. This is an amazing deal for all of our youngsters who are coming out of the 125s, maybe up into the 250s and looking for car number 1. So get on up to VW Mastercars Hatfield and check out the new Polo Vivo. Big thanks once again for the 2024 season championship of our GXCCs and our friends at VW Mastercars Hatfield helping us out along the way. The afternoon session for the bikes was ready to go.
Brooklyn, we've been Dust Bowl racing all season long, and although it looks dusty here, it's going to get moist out there. How are you in the mud?
Yeah, I'm excited for it. I'm just a bit nervous for the mud as I can't touch the floor yet. So yeah, but I'm excited.
What about the season? I mean, 8 rounds of championship racing, and you almost haven't put one of those little feet wrong.
Yeah, thank you. I'm excited. I'm not excited it's the last one, but I'm excited for the championship end. But yeah, I'm excited for next year as well.
The girls are coming, eh? You can see they're starting to find their groove.
Yeah, yeah.
Jay, rock and roll season. Tell me about how we're looking. I know it's dry here, but it ain't dry there.
We're having a look, eh? I'm quite excited for this one. It's the last one, so we're gonna see what happens. I'm quite excited. So last race was just dust. That was like, it was a brick of dust, and you just hop behind someone and it's just dust all over the show. But I feel today is just gonna be fun. We're gonna keep it pinned the whole time, and it's going to be fun. I know the dust has calmed down today, so hopefully it just stays like that, and just for the rest of the day it's going to be fun.
Maddie, so cool to have you out here. You haven't been racing for a while, and now I see you on the gate for the GXCCs, man.
Yeah, man, it's lucky to be out here. Yeah, I got the call up to come do this GXCC and thought, why not? It's the last one of the year. Planning on racing national off-roads next year, so yeah, I thought I might get the feet a little bit wet, come check the format out, try to get used to the markers and all that kind of stuff, and yeah, I'm blessed to be happy to be riding this Yamaha, and yeah, looking forward to it, man. I think it's been a good day.
There's some nice people around you here, so they should be able to give you some good advice.
100%. Yeah, I've got Harry, I've got the team behind me, so yeah, I'm really looking forward to it. I'm really blessed to have them behind me. They gave me the call and they said to me, listen, next year we're looking for someone to come race in our 450 team, and yeah, man, I'm stoked that I got the call. It's a new adventure, it's a new challenge for me, so yeah, I'm looking forward to it. It's a new adventure, and yeah, something I'm really looking forward to, and hopefully yeah, we can be safe today, just learn the format, learn what's going on, and then yeah, next year we can go for it.
Laurie, it's been an amazing season, and we're back at a track that you know and love. I love this farm.
Yes, Matt. Yeah, we've been here a few times in the past when we still used to host the GXCCs. Love the farm, awesome people in the area. The terrain, it's always been good. A lot of rain this whole week, So I think the conditions are going to be very good for racing. It's going to get rough. The terrain gets very choppy when it's wet like this, but at least dust won't be a problem. It will make for good racing today.
Just going to address the injury. Obviously, you went down hard at the last rounds, but you're standing here, but I don't think it's lacquer, hey?
If only I went down hard. It was such a stupid little crash, and I don't know, my knee was in a bad place, but yeah, my ACL is off, operation on Wednesday. So today we're going to start, we're going to see what we can do. If it feels all right, I'm going to keep on going, but I'm just fortunate I can be here. It's lacquer, we're going to ride our motorbikes, and it's a blessing.
Shout out to the series and the championship. Great to be banging 8 rounds once again.
Yeah, no, yes, it's you know, to be in a position at the end of the season to win a championship is a blessing on its own, and I couldn't have done it with all the sponsors. Big thank you to every single one that backs me. It's because of them that I could get back into racing, so I'm very grateful. It's an honor to be part of their brands. So yeah, today is a blessing. We're going to have fun.
Derek, running some different flavors for the final round. Tell me the story.
Yeah, Matt, we made some changes for today. Hopefully it holds together and yeah, can prove a point today. That's the plan.
Difficult year for you, buddy. Difficult year.
Yeah, but you can't always have it clean, and yeah, it sometimes happens, but hopefully it all came to an end today.
Been an interesting season for you, and you seem to have come strong at the end, hey? What do you think about going out there and playing in a little bit of mud today?
A little bit. Yeah, well, Matt, I think it's going to be awesome. First proper non-dust race for the year, so I think it's going to be lacquer. Yeah, keen to do what we've been doing the whole year, and also keen for it to come to an end, you know. Feels like it's been a long year. I've been on the ground and in the hospital at the first round, so yeah, to come back from that, it's lacquer. Feels good.
What do you think about the overall today? Because you seem to be running big numbers at the moment.
I'm stressing a bit, to be honest, because I haven't been on my 250 since the last GXCC, actually, been on a bigger bike. So yeah, but let's see how it goes today. I just have to learn to rev again, and it'll be lacquer.
Johnny B, saying goodbye to the 350 for the last time, but good chance of an overall today, eh?
Yeah, we'll see. Happy to be able to just start and win the championship. So yeah, that's been a lot of hard work through the year. But yeah, I'm just going to enjoy today and see what happens.
What about the mud, dude? I mean, I went out there. It's not as bad as everyone thinks it is, but it's nice to just not see as much dust, eh?
Yeah, definitely. I think we haven't had one wet race this whole year, so I like the mud, and I think that's going to be really fun. It's going to change the game today.
Gee, man, how many years has it been since you swung a leg on a GXCC? It was a long time ago.
I think it was before it was even a GXCC. It was something else before then, and I definitely left before the race had finished because I'd seen my milli on a lurker. So, yeah, definitely like a fish out of water today. But I'm a different person. I got to change mindset. I got a job and kids at home, so I'm not going to be going balls to the walls, that's for sure. Just to have fun and enjoy riding my motorbike, you know. Love riding motocross, I love riding enduro, and this kind of meets in between, so I thought I'd give it a go. Peter said to me, come ride his 350, which is my favorite bike of all time, so I couldn't pass up that opportunity.
And you know this farm, so you know the dirt, it's going to have a good feel. You and Robbie, I know you're big Chinas after last year.
Yeah, I marked the route here and I spent quite a bit of time in my bakkie, not so much on the bike. But yeah, I know the terrain very well. The soil's amazing, they got a downpour yesterday, so it should be really, really good. Possibly a lot of mud holes, but where there's no mud, it's going to be perfect. There's not going to be much dust, so I'm looking forward to it.
Cam, brother, a threat not only for your gate, but potentially another overall. How are you feeling about today?
I'm a bit nervous. Wasn't the expectation beginning of the year. Just on a comeback season, being able to fight for a championship wasn't on the cards. But yeah, here we are. I think there's a lot of odds that needs to be in my favour for the championship. So normal game phase, just go out there, do the best we can, and then the rest will sort itself out.
Tell me about the wagon. I mean, you in this 250 Kawa, you've been matched perfectly this season.
Yeah, it was a big, not a step down, but to get used to a smaller bike. But about mid-season, it came to light and got the groove back. And yeah, here we are after 6 years of not racing, being off the bike. So happy to battle it out again on the top steps. So yeah, looking forward to it.
Rooster, interesting season, but 8 rounds? It's a long year, hey?
It's been a great year. 8 rounds is where it should be. I think it gives us a lot of time to really battle it out for championships, and I'm stoked. Sad that it's coming to an end, but thanks to Vian and the GXCC crew, it's been epic.
Tell me about your season, up and down, but still fighting to try and nail down that top 6, potentially a top 5 on the season.
So yeah, I mean, OR1 Pro is, you know, where all the big boys are, and it's tough going, but I come out there and I give it my all, and I couldn't ask for anything better. I mean, I haven't had a DNF all season. The bikes ran like a freight train, so I'm stoked. I'm really hoping to nail down top 5. If I do that as the only privateer, what more could you ask for?
Dude, obviously last round we said goodbye to the chances of winning the championship, but the fight for second place is still on, hey?
Yeah, it's definitely still on. As long as I finish today, I should end up second in the championship. Let's see how it happens.
Kotze though, he's in good shape at the end of the season.
Yeah, he's good. He's getting faster and fitter, and I'm not as fit as he is, so let's see how it goes.
Cosmos, banger season for you. You're in that big dice for the 4th, 5th and 6th place. You and Rooster, isn't it? Tell me how the season's gone and what you're looking forward to when we go play in the mud today.
Yep, no, definitely. I'm super stoked. I've been excited the whole year pushing, especially on the 250 in OR1. The guys are giving me a run, but I'm loving the battles. I'm loving being in the mix. I love it. So yeah, I'm back and ready to push just how I've been pushing, and we'll see how it goes.
Tell me about the competition on your gate. It's busy in that 3rd, 4th, 5th, 6th place battle, hey?
Yes, it is, definitely. It's definitely something you have to work for. So I'm going to go out, give it my all, and do what I do best.
Who was chatting to Rooster, the 2 short guys out there banging bars?
Yeah, I had a chat with him during the week, and he was asking where I was the last race. Unfortunately, we had some issues at home. But I'm back, and I'm back for him. Yeah, we're on.
Scotty, interesting season and having to go for that knee op just before the final round. Tell me about the championships and how the maths is going to be working out.
I think as far as I'm aware, I think I need 1 point, or I'm 1 point ahead, so I'm not exactly sure. I heard lots of different stories before I came here, so I was like, if I do 1 lap, then it's sealed. So that's what I'm going to do today. I'm going to take a slow and steady lap, do a little bit of spectating while I'm out there, pull over to the side, watch the boys, and just have a fun day out. It's not often that you get to go out and just enjoy your day out and be a bit of a, cool, enjoy the scenery and stuff, because we're normally going too fast. But yeah, I get to do a little bit of sightseeing today and just watch the boys battle it out. And yeah, I hope my teammate Matthew can put it back on top again like he did at the last one. That would be really cool to see. But yeah, overall, really cool season from not thinking that I was going to do the whole GXCC season to being in the championship fight. And yeah, it's been really cool. And then also the nationals. Just can't thank everyone behind me, the whole Brother Leader Trade KTM team, to Uncle Kev, my family, friends, just everyone in my corner. And yeah, the knee is coming along pretty well. So hopefully by January, February time when the season starts for 2025, we'll be strong again and we'll be able to give it a good bash.
Matty, after a stellar ride on the 450, it seems like it's stuck. Going to wrap up the season on the big dog.
Yeah, at Fochville, going to take the 450 out again. I'm quite excited. It's going to be quite a fast race, I'm sure. Let the 450's legs run, and yeah, just excited for the day.
Remember this track? I mean, this always race is good.
Yeah, no, this race is always good. Nardis and the guys always put up a good track. It's always fast, yeah, so excited for that. But no, I'm interested. I think there's going to be some muddy sections. Yeah, just looking forward to it.
After how the season started, great to see you rebounding and finishing strong, eh?
Yeah, after coming off the wrist injury from November last year, I mean, took a while, but now all good. Second in 250 championship, so can't complain with that. Rebounded good. So yeah, just here at GXCC for some fun for the last race of the year.
Yes, indeedy. Couple of championships still on the line. In fact, the majority of the gates still had to get their seasons wrapped up. We were looking for our new champions in 2024. All the riders coming to the gate, Scotty H would simply roll off the gate knowing that he'd done enough in the championship. He just had to see the end of 1 lap and he would be crowned the 2024 Pro OR1 motorbike champion. The rest of the riders were nervously twitching, waiting for the flag drop. OR1 Pro, big bangers, his second time on the big 450, and Matty Wilson would be out there. Vian Kutzer, once again, a stellar start on the VW Mastercars Hatfield machine, and Matty Milan on the YZ was up there inside the top 3. OR2 Pros, G-Man, Grant Ferrix, hammered the nail, beating out on John Buerta, who very nearly crashed, and Barry Smith, his best start of the season, running high inside the top 3. OR3 Pros, another whole shot for Tyron Beverly. That's 2 in a row at the penultimate and final round of the championship. But Peter Karam was our championship points leader, running high up the road inside of the top 2. High schools, it's been the Nate Dogg Show Once again, off the gate, Nathan Westerdale hammered the nail on the high school 125ers. Seniors, Marco Cocci got the cheese very, very briefly before Laurie swept around the outside. Himself, Hugh Levy and Vernon Lowe were elbows up and banging. For the Masters Gate, Peter Hall, Warwick van Skalkwyk, and as always, slotting into his customary third place, Francois Swanepoel. The Masters Championship was all about Peter Hall. In the veterans, Anton Moret came out of almost nowhere, wide, sweeping lines around the outside, got the best of Charles Van Roy and Jeff Den, with Jeremy Smith slotting in there in the early stages. The Pro-Am gates were going to be bangers. In the OR1s, the quarter pounder, Francois Smallberger Jr., got clear air, but it would be short-lived as he had problems out on lap number 1. Championship leader, Big Ben Stratham, in a number 4, staying out of trouble. OR2's Dieter de Wet, the whole shot machine in the second half of the season, was out there with Ruben Stratham, closely followed by the rest of the chasing pack. OR3's Jason Leslie coming on strong in the second half of the season. Cam Farrell on his wheel, Cam running second place on championship points, with Philip Hobbs, the championship points leader, close in a number 3 spot. OR4's start of the season was all about Jake the Snake. Second half of the tour, Drickus van der Merwe. Van der Merwe takes the whole shot with Jaden Webb, Peter Colleen, Jake the Snake outside of the top 3 in the early stages. Senior Pro-Ams, Richard Hine once again getting the cheese, and Big Chris Harmser almost getting the whole shot at the final round. Second place put him in a strong position as he went out onto his final push. Ladies' Gate would be all about the pocket rocket, Duplessis beating out Lilford, Fotheringham and Edwards. Our final gate of the afternoon. Vian talks track.
The morning session went down really well, and it looks like the track has rutted up perfectly. So let's talk about the bikes, the championship, and what the track is going to hold.
You know, this soil in this place is typically hard. So with the standing water in certain places, I do believe that the quads would have washed away most of it, splash it out of the way, compact it a bit. But without a doubt, the two-wheelers will dig in, and they're going to create some massive ruts in some of the corners, especially here where they're going through the mealie fields. You know, the guys helped me during the week to diss it and drag some tires, so it looks like a motocross track out there. So it's going to create some deep ruts.
Close to the end of the track, around about the 3/4 marker, the copy. I'm going to call it the roof of Africa.
Yeah, you know, for somebody that's not used to it, they might get there and think, oh my goodness, what am I in for? And but there's actually a line between the rocks that you can just ride up. The main important thing is they just need to keep their momentum, and they'll just flow over those rocks. It's a couple 100 meters just to get to the top, over the top of the copy and back down on the other side. But it's something interesting. It's something that we haven't had in a very long time, and it's cross country. Cross country means whatever, you know. We're working with the country, and whatever we can use, we use it.
And out at Fochville, we used everything. We were out in the mealie fields, we were out in the lowlands of the mud, and we were out on the high point of the copy. Only 500 meters long, but for many of the categories was the deciding and defining factor of the event. For the ladies, Ilan Chabana walked away with 1 lap under her belt. Gabby Fotheringham got 2 laps under her belt, but we saw a lot of ladies fall over and bow out of the event because of these gnarly conditions. Bianca Edwards, even though she had a slow start and had a couple of fallovers, she was still good enough to walk away with the final win of the season with 3 laps under her belt. Congrats, B, and we'll see you on the gate full fit once again in 2025. Chris Kruger was out there good enough for a number 5 finish in the Senior Pro-Ams at the final round. Eddie Gower got himself up there inside of a number 4 just up the road, making the best of his consistency of the season. Gower has been very, very strong. Dean Woodup got stuck in a couple of roadblocks up on the copy. These were good conditions until the rain came down very late on in the afternoon. A couple of those rocks got a little bit slick. It was Kruger, Gower and Woodup. Woodup good enough for 3rd place at the final round of the season. Big Chris, that's Chris Harmser Sr. 2nd place, one of a good haul of gates coming out of the final flag drop. He remained in the number 2 spot. 2nd place will set him up nicely as he takes on his extra challenge in 2025, looking to move up into the Senior Pros. But Richard Hine has been near on unstoppable on the season. A big hole shot, another big win, and walks away
with the title in 2024. OR4s, lovely category this, where we see a lot of the riders testing their mettle against the best before they move up into the pro high school 125ers. Peter Colleen won't have been happy with a number 8 finish with only 1 lap under his belt. Dylan Besadenhout was there in 7, and Chris Holmser Jr., another standout ride for young Chris, getting a number 6 ride, looking very comfortable on his 250 KTM. Ben van Skalkwyk, good on the flatlands, battled on the technical run that was the copy. Incredibly enough, I'll remind you guys, that copy only 500 meters long, but the undoing of so many tasty riders, days and championships. Liam Skipper's Mullet Man, after wrapping up the 85 Junior Championship in the morning, swung a leg on a 125 for the first ever time and walked away with a number 4 ride, showing his skills that we'll be looking forward to in the future. Jake the Snake Pretorius on the Pepsi Plastics Kawasaki had this championship in the bag in the first half of the season, but unfortunately 3rd place at the final round, not good enough to wrap up the tour. He would lose out on the championship to eventual 2nd place runner Drickus van der Merwe. Drickus good enough for 2nd place in the afternoon session, and that would wrap up his championship, walking away with 2 number 1 plates in 2024. But the man that beat him in the morning session on the 85 Pros was the man that beat him in the afternoon session on the OR4s. Willem Puerta on a burner, taking 2 checkered flags in the morning and the afternoon out at Fochville. Puerta came strong in the second half of the season for sure. OR3 Pro-Ams, where the championship was still very much up for grabs, but everyone was looking for Philip Hobbs to wrap up shop. Nathan Godrich in his comeback season, 8th place for him with just 2 laps under his belt. Dion Jacobs was in 7th place. Those mud bogs were getting wider as the afternoon got longer. Leonard van der Berg in a number 6 ride stayed on 3 laps. And incredibly enough, this was one of our shortest lap count races of the season. Normally you see the majority of riders out there for a 4-lapper. In the OR3 Pro-Ams, just the top 2 managed to get that score count. Brendan De Bruyn was in a number 5 with Jason Leslie, even though he got the whole shot, eventually dropping down to number 4 come the end of play. If he nails down a full championship in 2025, he could be one of the riders to watch out for, to run podiums at every single event. Jaden Boyce, we caught up with him. He had a big smile on his face at the beginning of this event. Should still have a smile on his face at the end. 3rd place and the last rider with a 3-lap scorecard, even with a couple of fallovers. Janko van Niekerk, the closest rider to eventual race winner, on a 2nd place at the end of the day. But once again, it was going to be all about Philip Hobbs. Hobbs has almost put no foot wrong in 2024, nailing down eye-wateringly fast lap times. He's going to be moving up into the Pro OR3s for next season as he walked away with the final round win and cemented his number 1 plate in the championship. OR2 Pro-Ams was going to be fun to see as well, as another championship was getting ready to get wrapped up. The Leslies came on strong in the second half of the tour, with Dwayne Leslie getting a number 8 ride, Nathan Martins just ahead of him with a number 7. Leslie, 1 lap scored and counted. 3 laps, almost a full race distance for Martins, with Russell Van Gool coming back into the championship for the final round, and a number 6 ride for Big Russ. Another rider who is definitely capable of running a full championship tour next season. Daniel Goodall was right there with him. Those 2 riders of Van Gool and Goodall separated by 10 minutes come the end of play. Tough race for those boys. Oscar Masango, as I've been saying the whole way through the championship tour, a former rock hopper, and he made mincemeat of the copy, losing no time and pulling back big numbers on the rest of the field with less ability. 4th place finish for him. Ruby Rube, 2nd place out of the gate, put it on the back wheel as much as he could to put on the show for our fans out here at Hollywood Hills, and Ruby walked away with a number 3 finish. Dieter de Vet got the whole shot. Eventually, a couple of crashes on lap number 1 robbed him of the final win, but 2nd place was still plenty to get the championship done and dusted. His closest rival on the season, Jaco Nordia, held nothing back at the final round, putting the hammer down and beating his closest rival by a couple of minutes. Nordia, though, 2nd place in the championship, but he would see the final win. In the OR1 Pro-Ams, the big bangers, they were really going to battle out on the copy. Ferdinand Grundling, good enough for him. He got 1 lap scored and counted. quarter pounder, who was in the running early in the championship. This time around, even though he got the whole shot, he had problems on his machine at lap number 2. That would drop him down to a number 7. Kenneth Kleinams started to rise above then, getting a number 6 ride with Johannes Krobler. 3 laps scored and counted. All of the riders inside the top 6 were on a 3-lapper. Kleinams and Krobler both battling on the copy as Pierre van der Walt started to get himself moving. 4th place for van der Walt, one of his best rides of the 2024 season. If you could tame the beast that was the copy as well as the lowlands in the swamps, you're going to have a good day. All these riders, every time you dropped that bike and had to pick it up, you were getting super tired. Ben Vessels did a good enough job and a CrossFit class to walk away with a number 3 finish. Kian Hall, even though he lost his silencer pipe early on in the race, the old KTM survived to bring it home in an incredible number 2 finish. But it was Big Ben. Ben Roostradam, hammering the nail so strong, especially in the second half of the season. Walked away with the final win and is your newly crowned OR1 Pro-Am champ.
The crazy last race, eh? Take me through it, man.
Ew, no. The first lap was fun, and then you get to the rocks, and it's like a mini roof out there for me. But you know, at least there's some people out there helping, so it wasn't too bad. But and I got stuck in the rain on the last lap, so I'm actually drenched by the rocks. I couldn't get up, but I made it eventually.
So you and Brooklyn were out there like having a mud bath at one point.
Yeah, I'm just trying to get the mud, and then I see Brooklyn standing on the side. Woo! I'm just trying to get to the mud.
I can see you buzzing, but welcome back and congrats on a very strong finish at the end of the season.
Thank you so much.
Let's confirm those numbers. Big Ben gets the job done at the final round and cements the big number 1 plate on his bike for 2025, beating out on Hall, Vessels, van der Walt and Krobler. OR2 Pro-Ams, Jaco Nordia takes the final win, wins the battle, but the war is all about second place. Dieter de Vet, he is your newly crowned champion in the OR2 Pro-Ams. OR3 Pro-Ams, top of the charts, and the big number 1 plate, Philip Obbs, is the man in 2024, this time beating out on Janko van Niekerk and Boyce. OR4 Pro-Ams, interesting situation where Willem Poorter came out of nowhere at the end of the season to beat out on Drickus van der Merwe. His second place ahead of Jake the Snake was enough to win the championship. And in the senior Pro-Ams, Richard Hine is your newly crowned champion, taking the final win, and Chris Harmser Sr., Big Chris, gets a solid number 2 spot at the end of the year. For the ladies, Bianca Edwards came strong, coming back from those early season injuries to take the final win ahead of Gabby and Ilang Chabana. Next up, age group category racing. We'll start things out with the old man of the mountains. Jeremy Smith, an incredible gate, but eventually dropping down to a number 8 finish. Problems on lap number 2 would see him bow out. S1 Hall, multifaceted rider, knows how to pin it wide open and get the best of himself in the rocks. Johan Fourie, another rider that had overheating issues on the big bike. Clutch was the story and the talk word down in the pits. Again, a very short rocky section, but was the undoing of so many riders. Charles Van Roy, the motocross crossover in and out of the championship, would have loved the lowlands, very good in the mud. But the rocks was the motocross riders' undoing, eventually dropping down to a number 5 ride. Stefan Bagnall, one of the most experienced GXCC racers out there, been on the gate for well over 5 seasons now. And the class shone through with a stylish number 4 finish. Willem Swickers bringing the Yami up the road and eventually walking away with a number 3 ride. He'll have been relatively happy to wrap up shop. He's had a very consistent championship. Should see him finish inside of the top 3 come the end of the season. Dick Bessinger from the VW Mastercars Hatfield squad, one of his most consistent tours as well, as he got very comfortable on his machinery throughout the season and brought the 6.99 to a number 2 finish at the end of round number 8. Out of almost nowhere though, Anton Morer got the big hole shot and simply never looked back. Dick Bessinger was agonizingly close to his back wheel throughout the day. Eventually the gap under 2 minutes. Moving up the road into the Masters, where Mark Nell got one lap under his belt before his day came to an end. 8th place finish, according to timing and scoring. Francois Swanepoel, captain consistency, but this time around, Fochville was his undoing, dropping down to a number 7. Warwick van Skalkwijk should have been up there challenging for the win, but he parked it early after breaking a couple of toes, hitting a rock at high speed. He dropped down to a number 6 finish come the end of the day. That meant that the top 5 was going to look very different coming out of the finish line at Fochville. Francois Bosch, one of his best rides of the season, climbing up the ladder into a number 5, with J.J. Duval also improving on his championship at the final round, walking away with a number 4 finish. Vida Mastercars Hatfield's rider happy with what he was doing out there on the 350. Peter Compan has been coming on strong in the second half of the tour, and I think he was one of the kings of the copy in the Masters Gate. 3rd place, he'll be super stoked on that one. Conrad Edwards grabbing the old Yami out of the garage and climbing the ladder, taking his best ever GXCC finish at the final round. Not used to hanging off the back, but certainly didn't show any cracks in his armor out at Fochville. Peter Hall, though, has been a masterclass this season. The Masters champion would walk away with the big number 1 plate, taking the final win of the season in style. The seniors was going to be an interesting one, where Lawrence Mahoney was out there simply to wrap up the championship. At the back door, though, Conrad Sieber was there in a number 8. Gerard Foster impressing on the season throughout, trying to climb up inside of the top 6. 7th place should be good enough for him. Yanni Potgieter in his comeback tour will be relatively happy with the number 6 ride. Nowhere near full fitness and still managing to break it into the big numbers. Henny Blicknote up the road in a number 5. He'll be pretty happy with that finish. Seniors Gate has become eye-wateringly fast in the last couple of seasons. Kochi indeed gets on to the number 4. That's going to give him a number 2 spot in the championship. One of the riders that got caught out in the last lap downfall up on the copy. He was a late arrival home at the end of the day. 3rd place, though, an incredible story where Lawrence Mahoney walked away with the championship. There's absolutely nothing holding that knee together. Booked in for surgery in the following week, and we wish him the best of luck in the road to recovery. But 3rd place, good enough to wrap up the big number 1 plates and the championship in the seniors in 2024. Vernon Lowe has come on in amazing form in the second half of the season. Never off the box in the last couple of rounds. 2nd place, he'll have been very happy with that. Just missing out on the win by 2 minutes to an empowered Bu Levy. The Moto Klerksdorp Honda rider has been developing and coming on very strong, especially in the second half of the season. To take the final win was a big result for the Honda rider. In the high school gate, very interesting situation where everyone's been picking the pieces out of 2nd, 3rd and 4th because the season has been dominated by one man. We'll get to the top of the pile, but let's climb the ladder. Dion van Stad in a number 8. Ron Opperman, 3 laps under his belt with a number 7 ride. And Jean-Dre Vermaak, after coming back from those early season issues, starting to improve and look like a threat in 2025. 6th place for him. He'll have been relatively happy with that. John Bartmaritz, one of those multifaceted riders, good enough in every section of the track. And consistency pays the bills when it comes to GXCC racing. You've got to be good at it all. He was up there in a number 5 ride, banging bars in the early laps with Franco Ferri, those little legs battling on the rocks. Alex Robler, solid as ever inside of a number 4, one of the pre-season threats. 4th place should still see him running inside that top 5 for the championship. Coming back from early season injuries, Franco Ferri still trying to get the best out of himself and the new setup on the 125 machine. 3rd place sets him up good, looking forward into the 2025 championship. That's exactly where Ferri is looking right now. Tyler Pedersen coming out of nowhere, one of the crossovers from other facets of the sport, showing what he can do with a 2nd place ride. Be interesting to see if he comes and lines up full-time GXCC high school racing in 2025. But there's no beating the powerhouse that is Nathan Westerdale. Nate Dogg having a near-on perfect season on the GXCCs. Not matched on the Nationals, unfortunately, but Nate Dogg takes the flag and the championship.
Nate, I know the championship is already wrapped, but it's always nice to do that glory run. How was that last race for you?
Yo, that was a tough track. With all the mud holes, you're trying to think where to go the whole time, and it was so rough. And especially trying to ride a 125 uphill is not the easiest.
But now you can say goodbye to the 125. It's official. She's done. Now we move on up.
Yeah, 250 next year. I think it's going to be a lot faster, but I'm going to stick on the 125 for another year of nationals.
Bew, an amazing day, an amazing season. Nice to see you pinning it, and what a way to end things, eh?
Yeah, no, yes, it's been hard work. I'm a road rider, like you know, and it took some time to get used to the off-road ride. But I'm getting used to it, and my boy had a bad morning, so I decided I'll win this for him. So I'm happy.
Buddy, take me through that track. It had everything.
Yes, yeah, that little copy get you cramping. Yes, it was tough in those river sections, or the muddy sections was tough, but it was an amazing track, and cooling down now with the weather helped so much. It was perfect.
Fantastic. How does it feel to take the final win of the season, man?
No, it's like I'm really glad, and I can only say I'm happy, and let's see if we can continue this to next year.
Another one for the trophy cabinet, dude, and a big one for you. I can see it was an emotional year for you.
Yeah, she's Matt. It's my second year back from when I stopped racing, and it took me a while to get used to the Honda. And this year was just an awesome year. Started off with the bang. Bikes were amazing. Team was amazing. The racing was tough. These oaks, they don't make it easy. I mean, this class was such an awesome class to ride in, the senior class. I mean, you couldn't just come in here thinking that it's going to be an easy race. So, big up to all the class competitors. What a series. Well done to GXCC, and thank you to my family and the sponsors. Yeah, it was a tough one. Today I had to just finish one lap, but I felt I could race. And I was taking it easy because I dared my knee a couple of times, and yes, the pain is just crucial. But then, I got into a rhythm, and I thought, hey, it's my last ride in a long time. I'm getting the knee fixed on Wednesday, so I'm going to be out for 6 months, they say. So hopefully it will be sooner. So I thought every lap counts, and let's have fun.
Well, it's been amazing having you back on the gates and at full pace again.
Yeah, no, it was good. I mean, fitness was amazing. Vivify You, what a program. And if anyone wants to get fit and strong, go see them. So big thank you to them for getting my fitness back to where it needs to be. And I'm looking forward to next year. I won't be racing a championship, but I'll definitely do the odd race here and there. But just to ride is a blessing.
Peter, this is proper old school, this track. This was a tough one to end the season on, eh?
It was actually quite tough, but very nice put out. And again, to Vian and the team, they've done well. I'm glad the rain didn't come yesterday, because it looks like if there's a big storm growing. But with all the water, it actually went very well, and I'm very, very happy with my results for the year so far. Yeah.
Everyone wants to know, how did you manage on the rocks, sitting down the whole way up that hill?
Well, I'm obviously practicing for the roof, so they had good practicing because the roof is in a week and a half. So all good. Yeah.
Just take us through the season. It was a belter. Great to have the 8 rounds back, eh?
Yeah, no, it was actually. You know what, I'm just blessed. I want to thank God and my team Pepsin for just being behind me all the time. That makes something like this possible. And I think if there's an ace lying in the field, you just got to go look for it. And it looks like I found it today with my 8th win for the year. And I'm just really very ecstatic about that. Yeah. I just want to say thanks to the Masters. They're keeping me on my tip of my toes. Warwick, Francois, Wayne. If it's not for your competitors, there's no race. And I really want to thank them for being there. And if they're not there, there's not really much of a race going on. So Wayne had some bad luck, and Warwick as well. But when they're on the start line, I saw them get excited. And that's what racing is about, is your competitors. So thanks to them. We had a good season. And I hope they come back strong next year.
Let's check out the results in our age group categories. Nate Dogg once again on the top step and cements the #1 plate for the GXCCs onto his machine. Pedersen, big find at the final round ahead of Fourie. Bew Levy, a standout ride, his first pro senior win on the GXCC Tour. Beating out on Vernon Lowe and Lawrence Mahoney, 3rd place. Good enough for the championship ahead of Kochi. Peter Hull takes the final win and also underlines his deal to take a big Masters championship. Conrad Edwards, an amazing standout ride at the final round in 2nd place ahead of Peter Compon. In the Veterans Gate, Anton Moret takes final blood ahead of Bessinger and Swickers. A big change in the top 3 at the Veterans final round. Next up, Pro Riders to wrap up the season. We'll start things out with our OR3 Pro category, where Lucian Meyer hasn't quite yet figured out the alchemy of GXCC racing, but we know he's going to come on strong next year. Tyron Beverly, big hole shot, but it all fell apart on lap number 2 when he had some very rare mechanicals. Similar situation for Cam Becker, mechanicals on lap number 1 and a injured finger on lap number 2 dropped him out of the gate. 6th place, and that lost him the championship as well. It was mathematically a long shot, but still good enough for a number 2 spot on his comeback tour. That meant that Stefan de Klerk was able to get promoted up into a number 5, and Stewie Billingham, who hopefully is going to be on the tour full-time next year because he's definitely got the skills and the speed on the Pepsi Plastics Cower machine. 4th place, a nice way to wrap up his season. Up the road though, Derek Karam swinging off the Yamaha onto the KTM. Even though he crashed out, was still strong enough and fast enough to record a number 3 finish, making a promise of what's to come next year. Bryce Pedersen, another big find coming out of the motocross world, joining the tour and showing what the riders from the motocross gate can do when it comes to GXCC racing. A standout ride in a number 2 spot. But it was Peter Karam who once again walked away with the big win in the OR3 Pros, aggressively attacking all of the facets of the terrain out here at Fochville to walk away with the final win and the number 1 plate once again. That's his 3rd ever GXCC OR3 Pro Championship. Gav Young had issues early on in the race, dropping him down to 8th place. That was costing him points in the championship. Barry Smith, strong gate, but dropping down to a number 7 come the end of play. The whole shot superstar, the original 101, G-Man Grant Ferrix, mince-meeting the field on lap number 1, but lap number 2, a big crash, putting him out, eventually tagging a number 6 finish. Carl DeToy, 2nd place in the championship, staying out of trouble. 5th place was the best that he could do on the day. Didn't lose out on points, still closed out 2nd place on the championship. His closest rival just behind him was Seth Lilford, just ahead of him this time around on the road, taking a 4th place ride. Stoffberger was up there, having a really good run in the early laps. John Buerta had some issues on his machine late on in the race. 3rd place, his lowest finish on the tour, but still good enough to wrap up the big number 1 plate after dominating the season. CD Huersen, an incredible story where our multiple quad racing champion has figured out 2 wheels at the final round of the tour. 2nd place in the Pro OR2s for CD Huersen, his best ever ride on the season. And then Stoffberger, he's been fighting out for 4th and 5th place all the way through the tour. And at the final round at Fochville, he finally puts his name at the top of the pile. Congratulations, Stoffelberger, taking the final Pro OR2 win of the season. In the OR1 Big Bangers, Brendan Kutzer, who was in a fight for number 2 in the championship, had to park the bike after lap number 3. Problems on the machine, dropping him down to an eventual 8th place ride. The Rooster, Rudy Vieira, in the big dice for 5th and 6th place between himself and Cosmos Mamalukas. 7th place means that Rooster is going to be in a number 6 spot this season come the end of play. Eric Merry had issues on his machine on lap number 1, had to do the big fight back and walked away with a 6th place ride, but he is going to be strong next year for sure. Cosmos Mamalukas, 5th on the day, should cement his 5 spot in the championship as well. Cosmos, very, very strong at the end of the tour. Ruan Merry starting to understand how to get the best out of himself and the Bikers Warehouse. Husqvarna 450. Merry will be a big threat in 2025. The battle for 2nd place in the championship coming into the final round was between John Vulcan and Brendan Kutzer. They were banging bars up until lap number 3. Kutzer fell out. John Vulcan gets 3rd place, cements number 2 spot in the championship. Hayden Lowe, so good on his day. This was one of his good days, and it was agonizingly close to his first GXCC win of the season. 2nd place, though, means he comes back next year even more hungry. The only rider to stay within minutes of the eventual race winner. That was once again Maddie Wilson on the Factory Brother Leader Tread KTM. Whole shot, never saw anyone else out there except the lappers. Matty Wilson and the Big 450 take the final win and the final overall of the 2024 Championship Tour.
Matty, another banger and one of the most demanding tracks of the season, hey?
Yeah, yes. Matty Milan and myself, we had a good dance on that first lap. He nearly came off proper hard. He actually did come off, but he saved it very well. But yeah, coming into that first lap, it was very bumpy. I was a bit shocked. I thought, once again, suspension wasn't on point. But no, bike went well, it was good. I eventually learned how to ride the track. And yeah, that copy, I must say, is quite interesting on the 450. Once you stall it, it's hard to get going again. But no, it was good. A bit of a different Fochville than what we used to. Not all flat out, wide, open. Yeah, a lot of fun.
What does it mean to you to take the final win of the season before we go off and drink beer for the rest of the year?
Yeah, I know, it means a lot. Just my last ride on the 450 for a while, I think. So yeah, no, I'm stoked.
Scotty H, just a bit of a glory run today, and congrats on the championship.
Yeah, so that's a wrap of 2024. So all my racing for the year is done and dusted. But yeah, so real high to finish it off. Obviously, I would have loved to have raced the track. The GXCC organizers put on a phenomenal track. And yeah, I was just a bit disappointed that I couldn't actually try and unleash a little bit of speed. But obviously, the knee was the priority today. And yeah, I just enjoyed my lap. And yeah, that's it. And most of all, to the big man, can't thank him enough. I wouldn't have gone to most of the GXCCs this year without him. He's driven me around today. I got the privilege to drive him here. So yeah, but thank you very much to Uncle Kev, but most of all, thank you to the whole Brother Leader Tread KTM team.
Congrats, brother. Kevo, from your side, you've been spinning the spanners. These bikes have been on point. It's been great to have you hanging in the pits with the GXCCs this season, full time.
Yeah, great fun. Sort of haven't been in and out a little bit, and we had a full season this year, so it was really, really great. As always, Bjorn and them do a wonderful job. So awesome day, lovely track, wonderful weather. A little bit of rain now, lovely.
Brother, so close but so far, but the banger season nonetheless, eh?
Yeah, flip that win. It's there, but it's just not there. But now we're end of the year, so now we can go off season and work on that little extra, and hopefully next year come back and do it.
Lots of changes in the off season for you guys, eh?
Yeah, definitely lots of changes. Super excited for the changes. So yeah, once again, big thanks to Harry and the team. Without them, yes, it wouldn't be possible.
Let's break down this track for me. For me, when I ran it yesterday, it looks like one of the most varied tracks that we have raced all season.
Yes, it was so much fun. But that mud, it just got wider and wider. But the rocky sections and all that, it was nice flowing. It was such a beautiful day.
Johnny B, banger season and a wild race to wrap things up, eh?
Yeah, wasn't what I expected. I thought I was going to finish, but yeah, bike broke. Anyways, it happens. This conditions are tough. But yeah, wrapped up the championship and I'm super stoked.
Wayne, from your side, you know how to pick him, eh?
Yeah, no, for sure. You know, with John joining the team this year, you know, had good high hopes for him, and he's answered all the answers all the questions that I asked. But no, he's put effort into this year. I'm so proud of this man. I just want him to cross the finish line, but that's racing. Yeah. But he's got the championship, which makes us super proud, eh?
Next season, big dog.
Big dog, yeah. I can't wait. Big 450, going to be a jewel.
Peter, what a day, what a season, and what a comeback ride for you, hey, buddy? Tell me how the day went.
Yes, awesome. I came out at the gate second there, and I thought, yeah, let me go try, you know. Yeah, past Tara, and he was flipping fast past him. And yeah, just circled the first lap, actually, the arm pump, and yeah, not used to this bike anymore. But yeah, just kept my head down, and yeah, just held it. What can you do?
2 GXCC championships. I think you might have a record at the moment. What is that, 3 or 4 now? Man, you're pinning it.
Yeah, it's 3, but I think it's 3, but that's calling it now. That's enough. On to big bikes now.
Congrats, Peter. Congrats on another championship.
Thank you so much,
Wilson on the top step at the final time of asking, Low in second and Vulcan in third, but your champion of the OR1 Pro Gate in 24 is Scotty H. Scotty Haygate. In the OR2 Pros, Stoffelberger, an emphatic ride to take his first win of the Pro Championship at the final round ahead of Goosen and Buerta, but it's Buerta who walks away with the big number 1 plate. In the OR3 Pros, Peter Karam at the top and finishes on the top step, his 3rd championship in the 3 Pros, beating out on Pedersen and his brother, Derek Karam. So that's a wrap from Fochville and also a wrap from the GXCC Championship in 2024. Hold your breath as we go once again 8 rounds of championship racing in 2025. Have a great off season and we'll see you on the gate in the new year.
All this GXCC racing action is brought to you by VW Mastercars Hatfield. So that's us done and dusted for the GXCCs. It was an amazing season, and now we get ourselves ready for what is around the corner. Before I tell you about that, though, a big thank you to Fast KTM. They looked after us. They gave us bikes so we could go out and film the GXCCs and the farm jams throughout 2024. So big love to Nathaniel and Luke for hooking us up with the bikes. Thank you so much, guys. Couldn't have done it without you. Right now, Hollywood, that's me. I'm going to be heading across the border in just a couple of days with you beautiful people to take on the Maluti Mountains. I'm going to be on the mic once again, and I wish all you guys a safe journey and very best of luck. I'll report back on my way home with whatever is left of me and my voice to tell you what went down at the 2024 running of the Roof of Africa. Then we've got around about 3 more episodes. The final mic drop of the season is going to be on the 16th of December. But for now, guys, enjoy yourselves. If you're getting ready for next year, get dialed in, but I'll report back when I cross the border once again, coming back from the roof.